Hey guys, looks like we found the river. It was actually located right next to Ring 5, who could have guessed? Seems like the towers in this area are lost too, since to be honest I barely even remember the towers here despite Lost River releasing only 2 years ago. Damn, it's really been 2 years? Anyway, first tower please. Oh gosh. Yeah, I have a huge personal vendetta against this tower. This tower took me about a year to complete without taking damage. Well, obviously with huge breaks in between, but man, I have never ever hated a medium tower as much as this one. Despite the fact that this tower took me a long time to complete, it doesn't require any non-conventional methods, so here are some general tips to help make this a more tolerable experience. At floor 5, wobble the platform first and then wait for the kill brick ball to move to a better position rather than rushing it. For this part at the basement floor, just wait for the kill brick closest to pass and then at an angle hold down D with T-pose. You can also use the normal, big, unanchored spheres to push the kill brick ones out of the way so the green sphere can go inside the hole. I had to word that one carefully to avoid clip farming. For this section of floor 8, align yourself on the same stud as this slightly visible part and walk across with T-pose. At floor 9, align yourself on the second stud and then jump without T-pose and only holding down W. Oh yeah, and here you can just walk along the wall very carefully to avoid any accidental damage. And then floor 10. To do this spinner, you have to use a pretty similar strategy to the one used in the basement floor. Essentially, walk in an angle, but also hold down W and no T-pose this time. For the last outside, you could attempt to do it legit, or you could drop back down to floor 8 and heli-clip into the dropper that teleports you to the wind pad. And no, you can't skip floors 9 and 10, I already tried that and got kicked. What a great start to Lost River. Up next is Tower of Two-Sided Troubles. There's a lot of minuscule kill brick sections in this tower, though there are only a few that I'm going to be focusing on. At floor 4, you have to spawn the first, third, and fourth push boxes, and then from the first push box jump to the third one until you climb onto it. Then continue as normal up until floor 7, where you'll have to perform a lag high jump on a truss. Yeah, as weird as it sounds, that's actually possible. Then afterwards you reach side B, where for most of the floors you can't fall, otherwise you'll take damage. Progress as normal up until you reach the end of floor 6. Normally this teleporter leads you to a really hard section to do damageless, so instead of doing that, you can drop down to floor 4, progress for a bit, and then at this wall on floor 6, heli-clip through it and land on the part. And there's pretty much no more tough kill brick sections as long as you know what you're doing, so that means you can also complete TOTST without taking damage. I don't know why this tower took me as many attempts as it did. Massive skill issue plagued me when I was first attempting this tower. Welcome to the Citadel of Inside situations. Believe it or not, this Citadel is also possible to do, and it also requires some really stupid methods. This is one fun episode. When you reach floor 2, you'll encounter a maze with a kill brick spinner. Just jump over the spinner accordingly and you will make it out. Right before floor 3, you have a low roof section with platforms on top of KB. Use heli powers and jump from side to side. Then you reach floor 9, which is probably the hardest floor of the Citadel. I mean, there's a warning sign before the floor even starts saying it'll be filled with kill bricks. So let's quickly go over the jumps. Use helicopter powers here to jump over it, try to jump to the middle of the ladder, use T-pose and move around accordingly with a moving platform. And that's floor 9. Oh yeah, and try not to fall, there's a kill brick pit beneath you. And you'll also have to redo like 10 or more minutes of boring gameplay if you fail. And then we reach floor 10. I'm not sure which floor this is technically, but it's the one with a big jump boost thing. Now pay attention. This is where we'll have to do some trickery. Once you do the final jump of this section, walk up to the teleporter with T-pose and tilt your character slowly until you get teleported. If you do it right, you'll keep your jump boost and get teleported to the next part. Now you'll want to item clip through the wall at this specific part. You will then get to floor 1, which you'll have to complete with a jump boost. And while assuming you completed, you will then be able to complete the Citadel at full health. Yay, that sounded really bad. I'm glad Cheesecat did it for me. Tower of Losing or Zeal is fairly simple to complete damageless. Well, apart from the final boss fight, that is. Now, I'm not actually sure whether this boss fight is possible to do damageless legitimately, but hey, be my guest if you want to try that. The method that I recommend using if you want to keep your sanity intact is simply doing the first attack, staying on the leg, and then heli-clipping onto the eye in the middle. After that, carefully align your jump so that you touch the wind pad without taking damage, and then yeah, easy tower point, woohoo, what's next? Oh hey, it's that one tower where they removed half of it. How does one even get half of their tower removed for being so bad? Well anyway, it's not my job to nitpick towers, it's my job to explain how to do them without taking damage. At floor 2, you could do this section normally, but I prefer to not pray for the turrets to shoot how I want them to and just do an LHJ skip at the start of the floor. And then at floor 6, you'll need to do one more LHJ skip. This one is 16 studs by the way, so have fun doing that one. But apart from those two skips, there's only one section of floor 10 that's pretty easy to complete damageless, adding Tower of Diverging Layers to the lengthy list of towers completed without taking damage. Alright. Finally, after rambling and rambling for so long, we finally reached an impossible tower. What a relief. Look, floor 10, my saving grace. I'm so happy. Okay, anyways, back to possible stuff. Up next, we have Tower of Witchcraft and Wizardry. This tower is fairly easy to cheese, thankfully, so it is possible to do damageless. Once you get to floor 4, pick the Death School section. I'm fairly certain the Life School floors are possible to do damageless, but there's no point in doing them. Once you reach this button that says you have to do a boss fight, you could do it, or you could just jump into the acid, run to the teleporter that takes you to floor 9, like high jump up to the top of these walls, and just touch the teleporter. At floor 10, there's one last kill brick section. Again, I'm fairly certain you could do it legit, but I have to use my budget on something, so I used it to find another cheese. If you stand on this button, wait for the timer to reach 1 second, and then drop down. Assuming you timed it right, you'll not take damage and not have to do this section. And after that, it's pretty much a victory lap to the win pad. The only witchcraft and wizardry I had to do in this tower was skipping pretty much half of it. And the next tower is Tower of Compact Volumes. Wait, no, I mean, Tower of Coolio Sliding. No, that's a monthly tower. Tower of Compact Spaces. There we go. Now, our run ends at floor 1 with this kill brick wall. It's impossible to pass through. So instead, we have to go back a little bit to this wall. You want to lag high jump up to it, and then you have to do the stupid speed glitch thing again onto this platform at the very end of 1. At floor 2, there's another section where we have to lag high jump up to a wall here. You can then pretty much continue the tower as normal, with an optional skip at floor 6 to skip a potentially dangerous spinner section. The last real obstacle is at floor 9. Now there's 2 ways you could do floor 9. Either you could do it normally and try to not take damage by going on the very edges of these cylinders, but no, it would be a no damage episode without some stupid and inconsistent skip that skips some slightly hard kill brick section. Or you could just do a 15 stud lag high jump on this wall here after the swinging platforms. And yes, it is possible. I've had to do this multiple times before. Why, you may ask? Listen, we don't need to know the why, okay? And yeah, that's it. Woohoo, that was terrible. In contrast, Tower of Triple Jeopardy barely has any kill bricks and was fairly easy to do. I guess there's one section at floor 3, but other than that, it's a free positive energy thing. Can we please just call them tower points? This one's interesting. Alright guys, let's just say it's impossible for my own and everyone else's sanity. See guys, look at this floor 8 kill brick spinner. There's no way you can pass that. Now let's just forget this tower ever existed and move on. And well, last but surprisingly not least, JToH. This tower barely contains kill bricks and there's really only a few sections you need to look out for. At floor 4, instead of jumping on this kill brick, you can simply just jump to the stick part and still make the jump. At floor 5, you have to wrap around this kill brick with T-pose instead of just jumping forward like usual. And that's about it really in terms of kill bricks. The rest of the difficulty of this tower comes from the actual difficulty of the tower. But hey, it's nice to knock down another soul-crushing tower without taking damage. Well hey guys, we found out what towers are possible in the river. 9 out of 11, well that's an interesting number. Towers are possible without ever touching a kill brick. Despite this though, we're not quite done with lost